So if you want to learn how to trade options, purchase my ebook located at wordly41.gumroad.com. Link will be in the description. And basically, how did I make $84 trading Apple call options? So looking at 1458 on the 30-minute time chart. 1458. So basically this candle, as soon as it landed on the 180-day moving average, I bought call options on Apple. The reason is because this candle and the before the market opened candles were using the 180-day moving average as support. And basically, I bought in call options on Apple as soon as it landed on the 180-day moving average. And then once I saw the position surpass my percentage goal of 5%, I sold out with a gain of $84. So once the position surpassed the 5% target, I sold out at 7.87%. So basically, it's like I've been telling you guys, basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to use the moving averages as either support or resistance levels. Try to time an entry point that you want to get in, so whether you're playing calls or puts, and then try to sell out the position once it reaches your desired percentage target. For me personally, I like to reach, I want to play it safe, so I just, rather play it safe when the position is up 5 or 10%. And that's just a personal preference for me. The reason I do that is because I can easily move on to the next trade and do the same pattern over and over again. The reason is because I feel like most traders feel they get stuck when they want to sell, and most traders will lose profit or leave profit on the table, and once the next day comes, they realize that whatever strategy or game plan was set in mind was not accomplished due to that stock doing a completely different move for that day. And basically, once you're when you're day trading, you need to be very careful and have a strict game plan that you're gonna follow. For me, this is like the strictest game plan that I follow. If the position is now down like 10%, I'll sell out the trade. I'll sell out the position. I'll take the loss, and then for the next trade, instead of aiming for a 10% instead of aiming for a 10% profit, instead I'll try to aim for a 20% profit now. So I'll basically try to aim for a 20% target. That way I can recoup that previous loss of that 10% loss. So me personally, like I said, I try to use I try to trade mega cap stocks. The reason is because I feel like mega cap stocks are a little bit more, I guess you could say they're a little bit more stricter with their trend. Now, if you play like large, medium, or small cap stocks, they usually they also do their thing too as well, but I haven't had that much, luck with trading the large, mid, or small cap stocks. I've had more success trading mega cap stocks like Bank of America, Coca-Cola, Apple, Google, the Magnificent Seven, right? Pretty much I try to stick to those type of stocks only, or companies, the mega cap stocks. I try to stay away from the mid or small cap stocks. I like to trade sometimes the large cap stocks, because sometimes those large cap stocks usually tend to have a crazy day, and then they give a great return if you do decide to trade large cap stocks. So for example, I made a list that you guys could add to your watch list, for example, of May. I'm focusing on the stocks to trade, which is NVO, Target, Merck, Nike, BDX, UPS, AVGO, CCL, CRM, Teva, TSM, DEC, Nvidia, Apple, Delta Airlines, Google, STLA, CVE, HPE, Tesla, ON, PayPal, Moderna, TTD, Amazon, XYZ, UAL, Owl, Snap, Reddit, and UNH. So basically those are the stocks that I've been trying my best to trade in a way. It's a mix of everything. So it's a mix of like a little bit of mid, or I guess you could say like mid, large, and mega cap stocks, and that way I can diversify my trades. When I find an opportunity in a specific trade, I'll take the opportunity. For one thing that I've noticed is that lately the large cap stocks have had like huge runners all of a sudden lately. What's an example? For example, TTD actually had a pretty good run on Monday. It ran up 11.77%. So whoever got into TTD, good on them, because they probably made a lot of money if they traded either options or traded a large sum of stocks, trading TTD. But that's one of the prime examples that what the large cap stocks can do. Sometimes they'll outperform the mega cap stocks 100% sometimes. Performance wise, like you were if you were to invest into large cap stocks, some do pretty good returns. I think Palantir is a prime example of a return that if you were to invest into them for the long term, you'd see a great return from Palantir if you held on to the long term and believed in them. Me personally wise, I didn't really so much believe in them, but for the people that did, kudos to them, because now Palantir is worth like $100 a share now. So basically lately I've been trying to like I said, I've been trying to diversify, trying to trade a little bit of mid, large cap stocks, instead of just focusing on the only on trading mega cap stocks. The reason I want to try to diversify now is because like I said, let's see, PayPal has been on a surge of an uptrend lately. So like if I were to swing trade PayPal or TTD, or I guess you could say XYZ, because look at XYZ at one point was at 44.27. Now it's at $57 now. So it's pretty crazy that these large cap stocks can all of a sudden go down, downhill quick, and then all of a sudden just make the U-turn towards the uptrend. So those are the stocks that you could add to your watch list if you decide to trade them. That's pretty much it. As always, this is not financial advice. As always, take care. Bye.